Hello my friends, Liberty Garden, August 29th, Saturday, and I'm at the farm. You probably have seen this part maybe a year ago or so when I was doing some videos back then when I was going through this area to clear it. But I haven't been back here in at least a year, maybe two. So this is the fence line. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 wires. Very good wire in this part of the fence. Very nice wire. 2 barbs. No big deal. I got T-posts on the ground. I got T-posts that are kind of bent, like they're not very well grounded. And I got braces that are rotting. So here you have a double H brace. You got one brace there. There's the other H brace. It's a double H. And this is the strong post on this assembly. That's why you got your anchors right there like that. So obviously this is no good. I'm gonna have to replace this. But it's a good place to have it because this is where the terrain kind of takes a little bend. So whoever did this did it in a very strategic place. So this is gonna have to go. But I'm gonna start working where I left off, which is about 120 yards that way. And that's where I'm gonna start working from. So I'm gonna work from that way, work my way over here. So I need to get at least one post in here that's good. And I'll move this here. I'll take these out or I'll move it or whatever. I'll chainsaw them to the ground, and if it's too much work to try to get them out. But I'm gonna have to get one good post here so that I can get a straight line. And this might work here, just to get a straight line. This is strong enough to take a pull. So I'll probably pull the top wire from that side just to get, so I get a very straight line. See where everything's gonna fall in place. So I'm gonna walk back and I'm gonna show you what we're dealing with here. Now right now this is middle of the summer. There's not that many ticks. I haven't gotten any so far, so that's awesome. And the snakes are hopefully all asleep. I already walked this area once, so if there were any, hopefully they moved away. Now I got a lot of good trees back here. I mean, this is the back of the property. I can't really get back here without an ATV, and even an ATV would have some difficulty. I have no road back here, so anything that I use, I'm gonna try to reuse as much as I can, like the wire, the T-post. I'm gonna try to reuse all that because anything that I bring back here, I'm gonna have to carry on my back. And the biggest problem to that is the corner posts. Those are heavy. Now, you'll see a lot of posts here. A lot of nice straight posts like that one right there. I mean, that would make an excellent corner post. The problem is that all those straight nice posts, they're ash or hackberry or honey locust. And while they're all great wood for other purposes, they do not last in the ground contact. So if I bury a post 2 years, 3 years from now, it will have rotted. So that's no good. So I need to get me some hedge tree or Bodarks or Osage orange, which I have plenty, but they're not in this particular area. And they're real heavy for me to carry back here also. I mean, those things weigh like a railroad tie, an 8-foot post. I mean, they're super heavy. So I'm gonna have to go a little bit deeper in there, kind of look for a couple that are good, bring the chainsaw next time, and cut them down and see how I get them out here to replace those rotting posts right there. And as I walk back here, I'm walking here, the fence, you can see the fence is on the ground, so I'm gonna pick it up right now. So every time you start dealing with an old fence project, you know, a lot of the fencers, they'll go and they want you to have the fence cleared and this and that, and they'll go and they'll drop some T-post and wire, pull it and stuff, and they're done with 200 yards in one day. You know, 4 or 5 guys will get it done fast because everything's cleared and nice. But in this mess back here, and by myself, I gotta lay out a plan first. So the plan here first is to pull out one line that's gonna be tied over there. I'm gonna stretch it with a come along, and I'm gonna untangle it from where any entanglements that it has. I'm gonna release it, and that way that'll give me a clear line. And all the wires don't seem to be buried in the ground like in the previous stretch where I was working. They were all rusted. These ones are all nice and they still have their coating, so they're good. So you see them right there. They're in the ground, but they haven't been in the ground for too long, so they're all good. But they do have some debris on them that I have to get out. But here I am. This is walking my way back to the place where I left behind, or last time, where I stopped fencing last time. So all this here, there's another brace here, or another post that was here in the middle. That's already, it's done. I mean, it's no good. So I have to replace that. But every now and then, the squirrel gets lucky. And guess what I found right here? You see this right here? There? You see that right there? Yep, it's a Bodark apple. A horse apple. Here's the Bodark tree. Look at this specimen. Sweet. So this guy here is going to be my pull point. I mean, why put a brace when I have a Bodark right in the freaking fence line? That's like a godsend. I'm going to pull from here, from this one. I'm going to use this as a pull point. I'll probably cut this limbs off just to keep this big limb here. I mean, I could probably just pull from this one too. This is a pretty strong tree. You know, an interesting fact about the Bodark trees. They go by different names: Bodark, Osage orange, horse apple, hedge, many names. There's a massive one over there. Look at that; it's all tangled up. Interesting thing about this tree, okay? You cannot say this about most trees. This tree will last longer in the ground without rotting, without decaying, once you cut it and put it as a fence post, then the tree will last a life. You get that? The life expectancy of a Bodark is about 30, 40 years tops. These trees, if I was to cut this post here, buried in the ground, that post will last 100 years. Easy. There are some houses here in this little town where I'm nearby that they still advertise that they're pier and beam houses sold in the market, and they are standing on Bodark piers. So yeah, this is an excellent tree, but I'm not going to cut it. I'm just going to staple onto this one. I'll just use it as a pull point. I mean, I don't want to. I mean, there's no point in cutting it. It is massive. This tree, if I was trying to move this, I could not move this by myself. I mean, I need a couple more guys to move it. So I'll just leave it there. I'll pull, I'll staple to it, and I'll move on. So the fence is going to come right through there, straight onto that point. There's the wire right there still. Pretty good wire still. And you will see here that there's another brace here that's all crappy. See, there's an ash. See right there? It's just rotting. It fell down. It's rotting already. So this is where I stopped fencing last time. Right there. We got some rain last week. That's why I didn't come to last weekend, because we had 6 inches in 1 week. So this back area would have been impenetrable. But this is where I stopped fencing last time. Right here. Right? And you can see here I used a hackberry. Now this tree is worthless in the ground. It's a good tree. And not that good, but it's a good tree. It provides a lot of habitat for birds because they eat the little berries from a hackberry tree. But anyway, enough tree hugging for a day. I put a couple of staples in this one here. And I know a lot of guys don't like to do this, but a lot of guys who say they don't like to do it are working with equipment and everything, right? But if they were working out alone here, this would be like a gift from nature. So anyway, what happens is that eventually this tree's gonna gobble up this wire and gobble up the staples, and that's a big deal. I mean, maybe the wire will rot and it'll pop 10 years from now. Who cares? What's important here is that from these tails here, this one, and those two bottom ones, I'm gonna tie the wire here, and I'm gonna pull it from that big old Bodark that I showed you a while ago, and I'm going to bypass this old rotting brace here. I'll just bypass it. I came today with the intention of putting a brace right here, because these braces are in a very good position. They're exactly where the terrain turns and stuff, but I'm not going to do that. Worst case scenario, I'll start pulling, and if the wire starts coming out too much, I'll just staple it here to keep it in line. But I'm going to pull from that Bodark over there. So from that Bodark to here, it's probably about 50 yards, 50 yards. And then to the final point where I want to go is about another 50. So I got about another 120 yards of fence stretch to do. But that's the plan. So I'm going to, first of all, get the one straight line, release the top wire, get one straight line, try to uncover all the wires from the ground, make sure they're not in the soil, get them out of the ground, and get one straight line. And that'll be my fence line. And based on that fence line, I'll make up adjustments, like where there's a break like here, I'll staple here the fence line to this one, just a little staple so it stays in place. And then the T-post will keep it in place where you want it to go. The important piece is to make it tight from a good point, which will be the Bodark on that side. And over here, then I'll tie the wire. I already have a roll of wire here, little barbed wire that I have here for an extra line, but right now I'm not going to use it because I got 4 good lines on the ground. So I got an extra roll of wire here that I can use for the 5th line. And I got my post hole digger right there, if you can see it, but I'm not going to use it today. Anyway, so that's what I got planned out today. And yep, that's it. So this is going to take me probably, to finish this project or this stretch of fence, is going to take me probably a good 6 weekends. Because I come one week, one day out of the week out here, and I work. And that's just the way it is. So it'll probably take me 4 to 6 weekends to come out here and finish it. But little by little, I'm gonna get to the highway. Until next time, folks.